Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Twist Gaming. I'm so happy that you were able to join us today. We are coming to you live from PAX Unplugged 2019 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I am joined here with my new friends from Guildhall Studios. Gentlemen?
Hey, I'm Zach, and this is...
I'm Ryan. We are Guildhall, also with our third partner, Jordan.
We're debuting our brand new game, Sea of Legends. It's a highly narrative sandbox game where you play as pirates raiding across the Caribbean.
Very historical Caribbean with all the undead soldiers and sea monsters and merfolk that you remember from the history books.
I really appreciate your dedication to historical accuracy here.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably half the job, was just remembering how zombies lived before they got smartphones.
Makes sense.
It being a sandboxy game, there's a lot of different ways to get victory points. You're trying to get to 10 notoriety because you want to be the most notorious pirate. What use is it if you've barely been heard about? Yeah. And you can build notoriety by sacking towns, by destroying big monsters. And one of the things that we're most excited about is how narrative this game can get. When you start the game, you start out with your main captain, or who you're playing. Your nemesis and a lover. And each of those will have their own quest lines. And when you...
They're also, can I mention, they are also reversible. So your lover can become your nemesis, your lover. So
That makes sense.
yeah, that's just like real life, right?
Yeah. So are you setting up your players randomly? Are you choosing how you want these players to connect together?
Yeah, so during setup, you will draw 3 characters. Then you choose out of those 3 characters what one you want to be a lover, what one you want to be a nemesis, and which one you don't want to
So
play
you
with.
get 3 randomly, and then you have to decide their connections.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you scan them into the app.
This is very cool.
Yeah.
And so how that works is each character has where they start their adventure on the bottom of their card.
Okay.
If you go to that location, I didn't look to see, but let's pretend if it's Skull Point.
Where are you trying to go?
It's Skull Point now.
Yeah.
And so if you, and so here it has the list of your kind of 3 quest lines. And so we're going to say, hey, let's do Kahina's lover quest.
Cool.
And
Can I be your narrator, by the way?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you're doing Kahina's quest, and let's see what's going on. So at port, a grim-faced priest with a missing eye approaches you. In your blood courses ancient power. Please let me join your crew. Your first mate crosses his arms. How about we turn this creep into local officials for some gold? He can't be up to any good. Your choices are accept the priest aboard the ship or turn the priest over to the local officials.
Well, he seems like a good guy to me, so let's take him.
Are we going to weigh in on this?
I mean, look, if some creepo walked up to me and said, hey, I smell your blood, like, I'm not about that life.
I mean, some pirate you are, but... Okay, so we'll turn him over to the local...
You're going to turn him over? Okay. So, next up, the local soldiers look you over with disdain, but they seize the strange priest. This man's wanted for murder. You're lucky. His captors cursing you. You will be hunted by the undead until you atone at the altar for sacrifice.
Because apparently they...
Yeah, it's just a thing you do. So, go to Havana and seek forgiveness. Now, the result of this adventure is you're going to gain 4 gold as you've turned in this creepy priest. You also to place a undead soldier on Havana. And so you're going to grab one of those miniatures. Yep. And then you're going to get your world event marker over on Cartagena, or Cartagena. Cartagena. Yeah, I've learned to pronounce more words than like any other time in my life for making this game.
All the Spanish pronunciations?
Yes. And, there's 2. Reading is key. So, your main quest is going to be happening on Havana, while Cartagena, will have a shared world quest that any player can access.
Okay.
So the cool thing about the adventures in this game is not only will you see other players, lovers, or nemesis interact into your stories, and you might potentially team up with them.
Okay.
You also will be creating these little side quests that other players can interact with. So when you go to explore the next step, you might potentially, as another player, get recruited to break that priest out of jail while Zach goes to continue on his adventures.
So this isn't an entirely cooperative, competitive game, essentially, other than you're going against for 20 points. You're following your own storyline, which may or may not intertangle with your other players.
Absolutely. I mean,
It's complicated.
so it is definitely everyone for themselves to try to get the most notoriety. as the game progresses, more and more world event creatures will spawn, and they each have their own win conditions.
Okay.
And so as they start to conquer more of the board, you will have to work together to make sure the NPCs don't win.
Right.
But I don't necessarily want to work as much towards that goal as much making sure I'm ahead of you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's minimal effort of suppression of the NPC, but they do win about a third time. So you do want to watch out for not,
So they are a
avoiding them
viable threat,
altogether.
but the enemy of my enemy is my friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so it's actually a really interesting and fun mechanic. We didn't set the board up correctly, but
Just a taste.
at the end of the round, one player will get to move all the NPCs on the board. And so when it's my turn to move the NPCs...
Can I do that?
Yeah, sure. You can move the NPCs in a way that is negative for your opponents, as long as it's fulfilling that NPC's goals. So like, undead want to corrupt as many regions as possible, so as long as you are moving them in a direction that makes sense for that goal, it might just be lucky that Ryan is in their way, and I can choose that direction that the undead
Convenient.
Colossus, crushes him in that direction.
Speaking of crushing you with a Colossus, so I drew my World Event card for the turn. I'm not sure. I'll grab this. So the World Event card for the turn is going to tell me where more creatures are going to show up. In this case, we're going to spawn an undead soldier in Claw Bay. So we grab one of those. We'll say this guy. Yeah. And then on top of that, our nasty skeletal Colossus is going to move to the nearest uninfested region. So to sort of expand on how this works, the Colossus goal is to infest as many ports possible. Every infested port is no longer accessible to the pirate until it gets retaken over, and if the undead, manage to infest 5 or more ports, then they're going to win the game. So that is what they're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to do that.
So,
Wow. Port. It's mine.
so I do think we kind of jumped a little bit more into the weeds than we needed to, but there's...
That's fair.
And
That's fair.
And in the base game, there will be 4 different world events, and you can mix and match any 2 of them or just play one by themselves. So there's a lot of different combinational play, so each game plays out a little differently just as miniatures on the board. But also, you're going to get a lot of different stories because you could be playing from 18 different NPCs that could all be a lover or an nemesis. And your stories are going to be a little different based on what world events are in play.
So when you're choosing whether your allies are going to be either lovers or nemesis?
Nemesis?
Yeah.
Nemesis?
We're learning words.
Yeah, exactly.
Learning is, it's fun, educational. What is the significance of either of those relationships?
Oh, so mechanically, like as far as the board game goes, when you are in combat, you roll dice, and each dice has a lover, captain, and nemesis icon.
Okay.
And when you roll one of their icons, their abilities come into play.
Okay.
Your nemesis already starts with their first one active, so they're already kind of a thorn in your side.
Wonderful.
Your lover, as you unlock their quest, they unlock their 3 abilities,
Okay.
and so they help you out as further down the quest.
Okay.
And to talk a little bit more about the quest, we loved Above and Below, that kind of really quick, here's your story, here's your 2 questions, here's your answer. But where that kind of fell short for us was that those stories do not build on each other, and each one is siloed, right? So like, none build up.
They're not interconnected. They're not building to a final climax necessarily. They're still fun.
Yeah.
But we wanted to have that in our game.
And so how we kind of solved that is each character has a 3 story.
Okay.
And so each part is that small tidbit of story with that one option, but over the 3 you get a longer story that has a more satisfying arc.
Okay.
And so we'll even progress longer because they can be putting out side quests that other players have to interact with, or the other ways that they can interact with players is your nemesis might show up in my story,
Right.
and if I help out your nemesis, he gets stronger on the board game.
That's rude.
That's for you to mess with.
So here's a quick question then. Would you want to dive in, show how an actual combat example works, show how another adventure works? What do you think? What are you curious about? We'll throw it at you.
Well, I am a gamer
Okay.
who enjoys a good story in my game, and I like the ability to become immersed in a different world in games. So that's something that obviously this game seems to strive for.
Absolutely.
So let me pick characters and do a thing.
Heck yeah.
Okay,
Let's do a thing.
All right.
Okay, yeah. If you pick characters that aren't already out, we might have to restart the app.
Nope, that's cool. We'll either one
got
of
some
two.
pre-mades.
I got two. Makes my job way easier. Conveniently enough, I've pre-set up some character choices for you.
What are the odds?
Don't change them.
Yes.
So I'm going to pick Tun because I can reach him.
Okay.
All right.
This is
All
how
right,
we
so
pick
you're going to be
them.
playing as Tun. You got
Yeah.
your lover there, Clara and Josephine. You got on the card there, you'll have some different locations where you can quest. So if you want to go explore your captain's story, that's one of your options, or
I'm
maybe
going to snatch
Yeah.
these up just so that
they'll
I
be
can
easier
get
to
a...
read if they're in
know.
front of you.
Okay, so for Tun, start your adventure in Claw Bay.
Yep.
So if you go to Claw Bay,
All right. So then, so the first thing you would do is you move your miniature
Fire
over
Eye?
to Claw Bay.
did we forget to bring
No, we brought him. We just didn't put him on the table.
This is good.
So he's over there somewhere.
Here, take this mic. I'll go get him.
Okay. So in the meantime, why don't you pretend you're Kahina?
Yep,
Um,
Claw Bay.
and so you're going to move him down to Claw Bay.
Yep.
And you're going to tap your story. Okay.
And now,
Oh, do you want to
I'm
narrate?
transformed.
You go ahead.
Oh, well, I mean, you're the much
You
more
gotta make the-
thematic storyteller.
you
so-
gotta
Oh,
make
you're
the
right.
voices.
I am more obnoxious with the voices, so I'll do it. All right, so you arrive outside an overgrown temple armed with little else but a Spanish spy contract and a name,
Okay.
Tinoch. You slow as a merfolk guardian hoists a golden scythe. Halt! You're not welcome on this ancient ground. Another merfolk guardian butts in. Well, unless you've come to help us fend off the Spanish Armada, then all right. So, would you like to pledge to help the children of Tlaloc, that is the name of the merfolk,
Yeah.
fend off the Spanish, or bluff, claim you have an audience with Tinoch?
no, we'll help him. We'll help the Little Merman.
You're going to help? Okay, so pledging to help. Here we
Yes.
go. The second merfolk guardian smiles. Oh, well, take this mask of Sipakna and head to Havana. Our ancient guardians gather as we speak, and the Spanish have desecrated our temples and polluted our sea.
Rude.
It must be stopped. Very rude. The other merfolk guardians crosses her arms, and don't try anything. So the result of this is you'll gain the Mask of Sipakna card, and you'll place a quest marker on Havana.
I feel like this mask is really going to bring out my eyes.
Oh, the purple?
Yeah,
That purple
and
looks good on
hair.
you.
It's almost like you planned it. So I gain +1 die as long as there's a Merfolk Guardian in play.
And there's a
Cool.
lot right now because we just threw a ton of figures on the board.
Yep, I like it.
So,
So-
yeah, it's all in your favor right now.
Would I pick him up, just go to Havana?
So, I mean, other players would take their turn.
I don't care about anybody else
Okay,
other than myself
that-
because I'm a pirate.
Yeah, exactly. And so you do have a lot of other options. You could be raiding ports or, going to the tavern and playing tavern games and getting relics and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. So do you have like mini games built into for the tavern
Well,
games?
we did, but it was too complicated because each card had a different kind of small mini game.
Fair enough.
So what we did is we had just assumed everyone being a pirate is a great gambler and they all automatically won the tavern game.
I mean,
so-
come on, you definitely would win the beard beauty contest, even though your character doesn't have a beard. That's his trick.
It's invisible.
And so you win the tavern game, but then when you're at the tavern, you could this one you claim immediately. But then you will overhear
Beard
a
beauty.
legend. So like Captain Lee says he's better off without that mutinous pistol he left in San Juan. And so now you know there's a mutinous pistol in San Juan.
Okay.
If you go there, you flip the card upside down and you have the mutinous pistol.
Very
which
cool.
is worth a victory point while you have it, and it's a constant buff to you.
Very cool.
Till it betrays you.
Yeah, until you lose.
Because it's mutinous.
Because it's mutinous. So then, so there's a lot of other options, but as
Yeah.
you said, you're very driven, and it's definitely allowed to just jump onto that next quest by
do it.
moving your character to that next quest location.
So Havana?
Havana.
All right.
Nah.
All right. Oh, here we go. At sea, you join the children of Tlaloc, Spanish galleons, and merfolk guardians flying as a barrage of cannon fire rips through their war-mounted whales. The front line is falling. If it fails, the battle is likely over. But you spot Tinoch caught out in the open on the western flank. And it is Tinoch who you've been to spy on after all. So, would you like to save Tinoch even if it means you're going to lose this battle? Or forget about Tinoch and just charge the front line and try to win the day.
I mean, all I was
No,
supposed
you-
to do was spy on him, right?
Yeah.
So the
Be warned as well. There's
Yeah.
more here. If you did, for some reason, decide to play hero and charge the front line, it's going to be a challenge. And in challenge, it's going to have a rating, in this case 5, and that's the amount you need to score with your dice rolling.
Ooh, 5 out of what?
Out of your roll. Here.
So a lot of this game is a tableau builder. So
Okay.
you start out with these 3 cards that are, your characters, but you also start out with 3 crew and a starter ship.
Okay.
Give her the pistol.
Why
Okay.
not?
And so
Yeah.
you always get to roll what your tableau allows you to roll.
Okay.
So you start out with 4 dice that we screwed up when we prototyped them last week.
Okay.
So
Beautiful.
they'll be easier to read in the professional one.
Black text on blue is
children
works.
you're talking about.
So you always get these 4.
Yeah.
Your ship, if you up, will give you additional dice. But you can always tap crew to get more dice. Sometimes your levers. In this case, your mutinous pistol will give you 2 additional dice.
Okay.
And so these dice have, 3 sides are covered by your 3 main characters because it can, cause those characters to activate.
Right.
The other 3 sides are either all 1. On your blue dice, there's a single. So.
Okay. Am I getting?
Yeah. Absolutely. Because there's like 6.
I see 1, 2, 3. 3
Okay,
dice.
so sure. Now, at this point, it is going to be very hard for you to screw this up. But let's see you do it.
Why would you jinx her like that?
Look, I'm not great at this. Hey, look at that.
Ooh, I see a lot of knives.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you succeed.
Yes.
But these knives are your nemesis icon.
Yeah, it's
So
rude.
you're going to read what your nemesis does.
So for each dagger rolled, count a navigation wheel as a dagger.
So
So,
the navigation wheel is a captain
okay.
icon. But you didn't roll any of those anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
Cool.
And so in this case, you succeed.
Hey.
Oh yeah, so we're doing the challenge.
Yes.
Forget about Teok even.
I
though you're
spied
spying
on
out.
him. I've
Yeah.
fulfilled my contract.
You saw. Oh, they're probably dying in this battle. So then you let it know if you succeeded or not. And yes, you did. So you recklessly smash into the front line, caught by surprise. The Spanish Armada wavers, and the Merfolk Guardians drive them back with spears and javelins. In one fell swoop, they seize Havana. The Merfolk Guardian tosses you a coin purse and invites you to celebrate at Soul Point. Yeah. Teok is nowhere to be seen, though, amongst the survivors.
I mean, he didn't say he was among the dead either.
Yeah.
So
He could just be captured. So
We'll find out. I think he's dead. So you'll gain 5 gold, and you're going to place 3 Spanish galleons on the corner of the map. Ooh, and your quest marker will move to Skull Point. So they're sending in backups.
okay.
cool. Should we just play through the 3rd story in this?
Final?
Yeah.
Just so you can see a whole arc. And so there's a lot of nodes that could have happened that on other options if you've picked other
course.
options. So
I just want to point one spoiler out.
Yeah.
One spoiler.
Teok lives.
If you had saved Teok, you would be able to fall in love and smooch and become a beautiful, merfolk loving pirate. Just saying.
Yeah, so you could have you could have ended the story with having another lover and making Teok, But
I have to tell you though, it's very hard juggling multiple people. I don't know
It
if I
is
would have
true.
wanted the pressure.
That's
I'm a
fair enough.
businessman. I had a contract.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, final part of this adventure.
Okay.
All right, so inside the overgrown temple, the Merfolk Guardians hoist you on their scale-covered shoulders and share many a shell of kelp wine. Eventually, you stumble through the halls, noting the flooded temple's weaknesses best you can, but you're interrupted. As a Merfolk Guardian you save falls to a knee. Take me aboard your ship, Captain. Like a wave, I shall rise to every challenge without fail.
Why do random people keep on throwing themselves at me?
I mean, you're irresistible, obviously.
With this mask? Come on.
Yeah, brings out the eyes. So, will you refuse this merfolk and focus on completing your contract with the Spanish in the end? Or will you accept Boat Guardian and forge a fake map?
Wait, why am I forging a fake map?
Oh, so originally, sorry. The original
Context.
detail was the Spanish had sent you to spy on them and potentially get plans.
Okay.
As well.
So Merfolk Guardian I saved,
Yes.
but it means I have to make a fake map.
So the fake map just means, essentially, this boils down to, hey, do you want to sell out these merfolk you just rescued to the Spanish? Or are you going to, send the Spanish a fake map after all and take this fresh recruit on, this fresh, damn recruit?
No, I have got a heart somewhere, I guess. So we're going to send them a fake map.
All right. Excellent. Welcome aboard, you say, and the Merfolk Guardian wraps a tentacle around you in a hug. Back on your ship, you draw a hugely accurate map from the Spanish and pass it off to a courier.
It's in crayon.
Oh, yeah. So, if they ever try to attack that temple, they will fail miserably. So the result is you're getting 10 gold for completing this quest, 2 points of notoriety. You're taking the lead against your non-existing opponent here. And the Merfolk Guardians actually will all increase their strength level by 1. On top of that, so you would mark that with the token.
So Merfolks in play, if you fight them, would be all stronger.
They're all stronger now because of you. And you'll flip over your captain card to gain their new ability, and you'll place one of those shared world event markers onto Tortuga. In case anyone's interested in, I don't know, maybe helping the Spanish take this map and go raid this fort. We'll see how that goes.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, this sounds like this game is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see more and more in the storyline and more with the characters and the interactions in between them. When is the game going to be coming to Kickstarter? When are we going to be able to get our hands on it? All the good questions.
So we're hoping to get it to Kickstarter in March, and then delivered probably 6 months after.
Okay.
Is the hope.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes.
It's very exciting. And where can my audience at home find out more about Guildhall Studios and the things that you folks are doing?
You're like, what are our socials?
This guy's in charge of that.
I got it. So you can find us on Twitter at Guildhall Studio. No S at the end because we couldn't fit that last character. So Guildhall Studio on Twitter. You can just find it as Guildhall Studios on Facebook and Instagram. Also, you can just check out guildhallstudios.com and seaoflegendsgame.com. That's all this.
All the things. Is there one player mode is what our audience is asking.
We are currently putting that in. So mechanically it works and you can play against each other. And so we just want to make sure everything doesn't break anywhere else. But right now we think there will be.
We're trying it out. We'll see. We cannot confirm it at this point, but we're trying.
So if we nag you between now and March, it's a possibility.
It is a definite. We really think it's like
A definite probably?
yeah, it's a definite probably
There we
because
go.
we really think it's gonna happen, but I don't want to promise it and then it
fine.
not
That happened. That's,
fall apart.
That's
between now.
Yep.
I think, yeah, it's safe to say we want it to exist, and it's just a matter if it makes sense given our timeline and it doesn't throw the rest of the game out of whack.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, but if you hit us up, so we will have much more information soon.
Very cool. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for letting us be here. This was
Very
super
welcome.
fun.
And I know you guys don't have a booth. Our audience is here at the convention, and they want to come and check you out and find you with the game. Where will you be hanging around?
We've been hanging out in the free play.
So yeah, we're in the free-to-play area. We're going to be set up with a couple tables so that you can play with us. There's not clear signage there, but there's a big column that says C6 on it. So if you can find that, you'll find us. Or just like shout Zach and Ryan, and
Somebody will
hear
turn
that.
around.
Yeah, exactly.
That works. Thank you again, guys, so much. And thank you all at home for joining us today. Stay tuned for more really great coverage from PAX Unplugged.